Hi Libra, this is your forecast for the month of February 2019. This is a general reading for Libra Sun, Libra Rising, or Libra Moon. For a more rounded overview, please watch your rising and moon sign as well. So Libra, you're starting the month off with this really weird and sketchy card, the Seven of Swords. And it's going to have a multitude of meanings for a multitude of people. For some of you, this is about your level of ingenuity. You are coming up with some kind of strategy. You're being clever about something. You may be trying to do something under the radar. Maybe you're trying to travel incognito, or you're trying to, get something done in a sort of circuitous means. You're going in a roundabout way. For some of you, this is about, going from one place to the other, whether that's a separate location or you're going back and forth with a lot of errands. For others of you, this is about a cautionary tale where there could be some bad luck, some betrayal, some dishonor. You may be wasting time with something. There could be a sense of futility. You may be dealing with theft or trickery or duplicity. For others of you, this is about turning the tables. You're going to do something unexpected, or someone connected to you is going to do something unexpected. For others of you, this could be a secret love affair or some unfaithfulness. So there's a lot going on this week that could go in different directions. Maybe you have to outwit a thief, or you have to meet a test with some kind of strategic skill. Whatever it is, events are going to put you and other people under the spotlight, specifically with questions of ethics and integrity. You may be overconfident about something or underconfident. So this is a week where you have to really take stock and take things with a grain of salt. Don't be too quick to bite or buy into things just because somebody tells you something. And likewise, be careful of what you may blurt out in the wrong circumstance. Others of you, you are dealing with outright theft, and it may be happening right under your nose in broad daylight. But more than likely, this is about you and how you may be wasting your time pursuing something, using your energy or your talents or your emotions in a situation where you're likely to get very little return. It's a non-productive relationship or endeavor. Now, this could be a week of escapism, avoiding things, avoiding problems, or removing yourself quietly and diplomatically from situations that have nothing to do with you. So it's a week of discernment, and you may be playing your cards close to your chest. You may be wearing a game face. You may be dealing with people who are doing that. There's some kind of hidden self, either on your part or that of others, and you may be seeking a deeper truth about something, and you may need to look beneath the surface or appearances to find that truth. Now, surprisingly, you could be in situations where you expect a person to lie or avoid, and they come right out and tell you like it is. They keep a promise to you that you thought they would break, or they keep an appointment with you where previously they've been evasive or indecisive. For some of you, this card is an intermediary. You are playing the role of liaison between others, or somebody is matching you up in an opportunity, and it could turn out better than you expect. So for some of you, this could be a good week where maybe you were overwhelmed and you had a lot to do, you had a lot on your mind, and once you take stock of a situation, you realize that, hey, I'm not as bad off as I thought. I haven't fallen as behind as I thought I would. But for others of you, and I would say for everyone, this is always a warning card. Be careful of what you're doing. Stay focused. Watch your back, your possessions, your health, your safety, your words, your actions, because something could come back to haunt you. If you were trying to get away with something in a negative way, some kind of deception, that could backfire on you. So this could be a week where you really have to watch your words carefully. Whatever you're doing, don't embellish. Don't make it bigger or better than it really is. And you're going to have to be careful of that with that Temperance card, because that has a tie to Sagittarius, whose ruler is Jupiter, and it exaggerates everything it touches. So you have to look at also your motivation, your intention. If you need people to validate you, if you need those likes, the thumbs up, if you need other people's opinions to feel good about yourself, that's going to be a draining influence this week. And it's going to tap into your ability to be an individual, and if need be, for you to stand up for yourself. So this is about not running away from your problems. Maybe you get some constructive criticism. Or maybe somebody is taking advantage of you. Maybe you're putting yourself at risk. So this is a week of warnings about being prudent, about listening to wise advice, because you may have been given some, but you're not taking it. And again, it's going to be a week of challenging your relationships. Maybe you really care about something, or maybe you really dislike somebody, and you're no longer able to make decisions objectively. Now, the second week you have a major card, the Temperance card. For some of you, there's a tie to a Sagittarius person. For others of you, you may be dealing with somebody who has to come up with that right mix. It may be an artist, or you may be involved in some kind of mediation or negotiation. Maybe you're involved with somebody who mixes drinks, or they're a good cook, or they create some kind of alchemy. Maybe this is a spiritual person, or somebody who is managing something. So this is a week where finding the right middle course is going to be important. You may need to restrain yourself in some way. Maybe, again, you need to avoid situations that don't have anything to do with you. Or you have to be careful and moderate yourself somehow. This is a week of self-restraint and reconciling differences. It's going to be important to have that balanced viewpoint, and also a sense of proper timing about something. So you have to be careful this week of extreme positions. And maybe the Seven of Swords is helping you come up with some kind of strategy. You may be involved with something that requires discretion. Or you may be looking at issues of compatibility with other people, or how a strategy to create something. This could be a week where you're going to have to seek some kind of forgiveness or offer that to others. You're going to have to accommodate, to adapt, to be flexible, to create reconciliation. So a week of compromises for you, that if you have been avoiding previously, this may be the week where you do have to put it all out there. You have to be honest, open, frank, and have that discussion that perhaps you don't want to have. There are going to be some things where you're incompatible, but you're going to have to agree to disagree. And if the relationship is important to you, you're going to have to do it in such a way where you don't jeopardize that relationship. You don't want people to feel that you're criticizing or judging or pushing. And so this is a week where getting it all out in the open is going to give you greater peace of mind. Now, for some of you, you may feel that you're chained to a situation. Maybe you are not handling something the best that you should. You're tempted to stay chained to a situation where it's not really good for you, and you're no longer objective because of your feelings, and you're telling yourself that, I have to do this because this makes sense. This is the better course of action. Or I need to do this because if I don't, this is going to put this person in a bad spot. So you're selling yourself an idea when in fact it doesn't hold water. It's a bad relationship, it's a bad situation, it's a convenient habit, it's an excuse, it's a rut, whatever it is. You're allowing yourself a pass not to make the most of yourself. You're allowing yourself a reason where you don't take your talent seriously. For some of you, you're under a lot of stress and tension, and you may find it difficult to relax. And in fact, it may start playing out on you outwardly. Maybe you get a rash or some kind of annoying illness and you don't know where it came from. For others of you, maybe you're testing something. You're sticking your toe in the water. You're seeing how you feel about something. Maybe you're making a connection to higher source, your angels. Maybe your dreams have some kind of messages for you. So pay attention to those this week. And pay attention in general, because this could be a week where you're very distracted, more so than usual. And the Seven of Swords says you're at risk. So you may be acting impulsively. You may think your intuition is telling you to do something, but your emotions are causing you to say or do something or buy something that you end up regretting. And at the end of the day, you may realize that you put a lot of pressure on yourself. You thought everybody had these expectations, or you had to people please, or you had to appear this way or that way, and you were the only one making those demands. This could be, in the positive, a week of celebration where you get some good news, some open doorways, and the Seven of Swords could mean that you're traveling, or you need to get out there and take better care of yourself to heal. You need to exercise. You need to focus on, any bad habits that you have to your detriment. So you're having to compromise this week, and it may tie to, the people around you, your neighbors, your acquaintances, running errands, short trips, talking too much, saying the wrong thing. Maybe you have big ideas. So your thinking, your speech, and your connections to others, your mindset, your mood will be important. This could be a week where, again, timing and your endurance level and the possibility of misjudgment. Now, the third week, you have this Eight of Swords. So for some of you, there could have been some issue of treachery. You may be in mediation or compromising. You may be trying to avoid jail, or you may be in some form of mediation where there was something stolen from you. Others of you, this is a week where you're focused on something that makes you feel restricted. A small room, a small space, could be your garage, maybe you work in a cubicle, maybe you're in a waiting room for the doctor, something that makes you feel held back. And this is also another week of your mindset and your mood, where it could be you holding yourself back, your thoughts. You can't come up with any ideas, or you're going in circles. So you feel some kind of confusion. Maybe you don't know where the middle ground is, or maybe you're holding yourself back from being excessive, or you're holding yourself back or feel blocked from having that honest conversation. Could be you're in an oppressive environment, or you're not asserting yourself, or you find yourself in a pattern of a vicious circle. Your energy is inhibited in some way, and it could be because you lack confidence, or you have some anxieties or worries or negative feelings that cause you to self-sabotage. So this could be a week where you may be dealing with, again, illness or unhappiness or negativity. You want to remove some kind of obstruction that would allow you to feel freer. And it may mean overcoming a fear, or renewing your faith in yourself, being empowered in some way, or restoring your productivity. This is going to be a week where you're going to have extra work or news that comes your way, and probably out of the blue that you weren't expecting. that's going to cause you to have to change your agenda, your priorities, your schedule, because you're going to feel bound to a circumstance that you couldn't prevent or control. It could be somebody tells you something at the last minute, or maybe your boss drops some papers on your desk at the last minute and you have to work late, or somebody, you were making some arrangements and you found out about something, now you have to change course. Whatever it is, it's frustrating to you because you thought everything was taken care of and resolved, and it's not. And it's likely because of other people. They waited too long to notify you or to take some kind of action. Because again, remember, temperance is about procrastination and proper timing. And that's probably at the root of your frustration. So you are seeking some kind of balance. Maybe you've got a lot going on. You're going here and there, back and forth, and you're trying to reconcile having to take on all these responsibilities. It could be that you waited too long to attend to something or someone close to you. It could be a health issue, a personal matter, something at work. And again, you didn't see it coming, and now you're going to have to put forth more effort to get something back on track. So balance is going to be important. How you feel on the inside versus the environment on the outside. Successfully juggling responsibilities, getting your work life and your personal life in harmony, seeking some kind of healthy balance. Now, if you are waiting, the longer you wait to confront something that you feel inhibited by or irritated by, the longer you're going to have to settle for just getting by in a situation where you should have come out ahead. It could be that you're a willing prisoner because you are narrow-minded in thinking. You can't get past your own self. You refuse to see something. You don't have enough information. Maybe you feel very passionately about your position. And part of it could be that you didn't have foresight. You were only concerned with the moment, the here and now, rather than the long-range goal. And again, if that's the case, you're going to have to work harder than you think. Or, you're going to have to try to stifle something from overwhelming you in some way. So there's some last minute notice this week where you've got to seek some kind of balance. Now, the last week you have this Six of Swords. You've got a lot of travel cards. So maybe, this is going back and forth to, a hotel room. Maybe this is a boat, maybe a cruise. Maybe you're traveling overseas. Maybe you're dealing with people at a distance. For some of you, maybe this is about healing. This is helping people in a time of need or coming out of some kind of period of suffering, some kind of abusive or toxic situation. So you're trying to get into recovery mode. Maybe you've been under a lot of stress, a lot of tension, and you want to release that. You want to move away from problems. Maybe you want to avoid things that don't have anything to do with you. Others of you, you're reconciling with people, whether that's emotionally or physically, maybe a holiday trip, relocation, trip abroad. You want to make some beneficial changes. In some cases, that means compromise, reconciliation. In other cases, that means severing ties, letting go of bad relationships or situations that have nothing to do with you. So you're changing your attitude, because you want to put an end to your suffering or that of others. But this is a week where you know where you want to go, but you're still dealing with some problematic situations. Personally, professionally, legally, or medically, you're going in circles. And you're having to deal with a feeling of, here we go again. So for some of you, again, more effort is going to be required for you to really get a handle on how you feel about something and who you're dealing with. And you're going to have to be patient. In some cases, you're revisiting the past, metaphorically or physically. Maybe you're taking an unexpected trip. This is a week where you're opening yourself up to a new perspective. And things are going to play out in a different way than you had pictured, and in a different time frame perhaps than you had expected. There's some revelation taking place this week that offers a new perspective. Could be new information, greater self-awareness, or realizing that you need to be innovative. You need to come up with a strategy and think outside of the box. Now, once again, on either end of this reading, you have the ability to remove yourself from pointless situations or harmful habits that have been blocking you with that Eight of Swords. Something that gets in the way of things that you really want to do. You know, people that take up your time when you wish you could be over here doing this. So, you know, in other cases, you're going to reconcile with somebody. Somebody that you enjoy is going to unexpectedly reappear. But this is a week where you're going to be challenged. It's a week of swords. So your strength of character, and you may feel let down or disappointed again. You thought something was taken care of, resolved, a relationship, a matter, a medical issue, a legal issue, and it's back and it's knocking on your door and you don't like it. You may be coming to understand where you've been vulnerable to the wrong influence. You know, the Temperance card says you could have made a misjudgment, and the Seven of Swords says you could have been taken by that. You could have done it to yourself. Whatever it is, this wrong influence is coming in, and now you feel stuck. You're having to start over. So once again, you're looking at where you're wasting too much time, too much energy, too much effort, too much faith, too much emotion, too much of something with regard to a circumstance or people that are wrong for you, and causing you to repeat the same mistake again and again. Now, this is all being driven by this Ace of Pentacles. You're having to put in some hard work, but there's also opportunity there. It may be that, you know, you're having to hold yourself back from going too far. This is a sensualist card, you know, concerned with the physical nature. And you may have to look at where you're going too far with that, or where you need to take care of your physical self. Maybe you need to build up your strength, and maybe you're focused on working out. It's also about where, you know, perhaps somebody is failing to carry through on their promises, or somebody's emotionally insecure, and so they need that spotlight, or they need for people to like them. This could be a month in the positive where there's some good health, some helping hand, some opportunity that falls into your lap. You may be coming up with strategies where you've been blocked. You want to build up your financial situation, and you may be getting a helping hand. Something proves, you see the results, some tangible beginning with regard to something. So there's a new opportunity, and the start of it could be very successful. The money's starting to flow. You're getting some financial advantage. You're getting some recognition. You're promoted. Maybe you're going to change your career. Could also be some kind of dilemma that falls in your lap that actually turns out to be a blessing in disguise. Could be both of those things. And this is going to be a month where you gain more awareness and have some spiritual enrichment. For some of you, you know, maybe you're dating somebody new. Maybe this is, you've been introduced to somebody, or you introduced others. You've got a lot of sex appeal right now. And so you may have to look at whether you're compatible with somebody, whether you're getting lost in your physical nature. Maybe you end up going out and you don't like the date. You know, it's not fun. Or maybe you feel uncomfortable because you don't feel good about yourself, your weight or your physical appearance, or you make a rash decision. For some of you, you know, you're having to look at, why are you connecting with other people, or why are they connecting with you? Is it about the status? Is it about the power? Is it about the money? Some of you, maybe you're going to join forces. You're going to work together to build a financial foundation, or you're going to work out together, or you're focused on doing something that solidifies you with another person. Maybe you are planning something that requires a substantial amount of emotion or financial input, a home, a car, a vacation, and that brings you together. Or maybe you end up meeting someone new when you're doing something that costs you in some way, a repair, a purchase. Maybe your work schedule changes and you end up working with somebody, and that becomes a new friend or a lover, or some opportunity arrives. You're also having to look at your judgment of being obsessed with the material or the physical side of a relationship. It could be you find yourself in connections that lack depth, or you've gotten off to a shaky start and now you have some anxiety about the future. So this could very well be romance, or something that you have romanticized. Could be a new relationship and you're concerned for taking it to the next level. Could be you feel exhilarated about something. Maybe you're going to go on a trip. Or you're recognizing how you need to open yourself up more to love. There is the opportunity here to solidify, to get something, to hold on to something, to recapture something that ties to your material and emotional stability. But for others of you, you are having to look at yourself, your personal spending habits, where you've gone too far, or maybe how you become a workaholic, and excessive professional obligations start to break down your relationships or keep you from getting involved romantically with others. So your challenge suit is the sword. This is going to be a challenging month for you that ties to your ambitions, but you have the opportunity to either repair, improve, to clarify, to put some things in order that impact your health, your work, and your domestic affairs. But it appears that there's this push and pull energy where you get ahead, then you have to back up. Then you get ahead and you have to back up. You have one major card, the Temperance card. So again, a tie to a Sagittarius, and compromise is key, and your judgment is an issue. And this may center around benefits that come through other people. There's some kind of frustration. Maybe this ties to a legal settlement or some interference by a third party, or you got some bad news and you didn't want to hear it, or there's some frustration because your communication or your negotiations broke down with others. There's some additional complications that add more challenges to your situation. You are in the midst of or about to encounter a very distracting situation. So things are unsettled for you, and your greatest challenge is going to be trying to stay focused on the ultimate goal, keeping your eye on the prize. And there could be some delays, some distractions, but also some options for expediting your situation if you're paying attention. You need to stop talking and start doing. You need to stop planning and start doing. You probably have some great ideas. There's a willingness on your part to step up, to step out there. You're excited about something that you've come up with. But your need to act is delayed through hesitation about options. And there's also this ruthless ability to act without considering other people's feelings. For some of you, this may tie to some travel plans, and for others of you, you're taking something that's crisis-oriented and using that as a catalyst to make it into more drama. All right, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. You can also support me on Patreon, join me on my blog for daily posts, on Instagram, and over at Vimeo.